I think I got the right one for today. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. The funny thing is, I don't drink coffee like every morning of the week, but always on Sunday. So, how is everybody? It's a nice, freezing, cold day in Nashville again. Although I probably shouldn't complain too much because it's probably way colder for some other people in the world. Yeah, I felt like this mug was appropriate. Sunday coffee is the best. It's actually not too bad in Nashville right now, Karen. It is... It says with the wind chill, it feels like 35 degrees. And that's what it's been for a while, actually. It's been around there. What's up, Pennywise? Thank you, Nella. Oh yeah, Max almost always wins with the coldness. Valerie's probably close too. Nice, Joel. That's awesome. I had to put slow mode on because it got ridiculous recently. Like, it's hard to follow along. Chocolate chip pancakes with the kids. That's awesome. Got 29 Fahrenheit is not too bad. Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, dude. Big 30 for you is next year. Keep up the great content and fostering a quality community to enjoy music. Thank you very much, man, and happy birthday. Don't be too excited to hit 30 because your body is going to start revolting and you're going to start feeling old. That's what happened to me. And Jeff, yeah, I grew up in Chicago, and it's like my idea of freezing when I lived there was literally like once it got down to like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. But now that I've lived here, like it gets down to about, 32 Fahrenheit, and I'm like, nope, can't do it anymore. Jeff says, I decided to help another YouTuber build a custom guitar, but she's not very clear on what scale length design she wants. I mean, does she already play? And how good is she? Is she trying to rip crazy scales? Or does she just need a 24 fret scale? Or like a 25-inch scale? Lot of variables there. Hi, Trinks. And the reason I did slow mode is because you guys know that I interact with you guys on here and I try as hard as I can to, talk to everybody. But I did have some people last week that I just get, by coincidence, I just guess I missed some of their comments and they didn't think it was fair, or they thought that it wasn't fair. They're like, do I have to leave you a super chat for you to answer my question? And I was like, no, not at all. It's just with 200 people in here, sometimes this can get really fast. I mean, slow mode's on and it's nonstop. I'm still behind in this chat, so. It's not a new guitar on the wall. I just moved some stuff around because I had my bass down. So I've got my bass down here. I just moved some stuff around. Oh, coffee next to a fire with a little chocolate. God, that sounds so good. I haven't thought about dinner yet. Might make some spaghetti tonight or something. The high for Peachy is 75 Fahrenheit. Shout out Peachy. 15 for Saga. Yeah, but Phil, it's only 9:37 a.m. here, so it's morning somewhere. That's why I moved it earlier too, because the first time I was doing these chats, it was like 6:30 your time, and it was a little weird. I drink coffee at any time though, if I'm being honest. Oh my god, I'm already behind in my chat. Lamb Chops, this is your first Sunday morning coffee stream? What do you do? Whatever you want. Well, let's not say whatever you want, but just jump in the chat, ask questions. Just sit here and answer questions and talk to you guys. That's it. Skylar, I haven't listened to any of the Bandmate album yet because I want to sit down with headphones and like listen to it in one shot, and I just have not had time. I think Celsius and Fahrenheit meet at exactly -44, if I'm not mistaken. The bass playthrough for tomorrow, everybody's asking which song. You'll find out when I set the premiere. Some people have seen it. Well, like, I think like 2 people have seen it, but I'm gonna put it on Patreon after this. And just like my first reaction video, it's not the best video in the world because I'm still learning how to get the sounds and stuff. It's like, the other funny thing too is like, even though I used to be a bass player in a band, I haven't really sat down and played my bass in like 10 years. Yes, I had to turn slow mode on because these chats start getting out of hand sometimes with just the speed of things, and I want to try and keep up. Like, I really want to try and keep up with everybody in the chat, and sometimes it's really hard. Picking up the bass again was great. The problem is, like, I don't know if you can see this on camera, probably because my light is too bright. I'll try and take that down. My fingers are thrashed from like fretting because since it's been years since I've played like that. Oh, Lamb Chops, thank you very much. That just donated $5 to the channel. Thank you. All right, at this, I'm just going to say this now. At this point, and I know some people are legitimately asking, but at this point, if anybody asks me, have I heard Marco left Nightwish? I'm assuming you're kidding. Because who has not heard that? Seriously, in my Sabaton video yesterday, there were probably 50 comments of people who are like, dude, did you know Marco left Nightwish? I'm like, yeah, but this is a Sabaton video. Everybody's heard. Come on. Mats, what did you buy? What kind of guitar did you get? Did I cry when Marco left Nightwish? No, I did not. And I don't say that to sound like a tough guy. I don't have the emotional history with that band that a lot of the other fans do. I get it's a bummer, man. Now, me looking at it from somebody that works in the industry and somebody that's a bass player, it's a hard person to fill their shoes. Like, I get it. It's a bummer, man. But at the end of the day, the people in bands, or the artists in the bands, are people. They need to do what's best for them. If Marco thinks what's best for him is leaving the band and focusing on himself and his family, then nobody should have an issue with that. That's just my 2 cents. The fans, while it's bummed that he left, should be happy that he's trying to take care of himself. Ooh, a Geo. Yeah, that's what I did, Des. My bass tone is literally like nothing good. Ronnie, I don't know yet. Because I mean, I do know. I've kind of talked about this, but my wife and I are expecting our first child in 8 weeks. And I know when I have a kid, I'm done with the road. Like full time. I've been touring as a roadie for about 12 years, touring full time in the music industry for about 14. I have missed so much stuff in my life, but I'm not missing having a kid. So the YouTube channel might slow down because we have a kid, but I still plan on doing it as much as I possibly can. Lamb chops, I could do that. While I think that Marco, it seemed that statement at the time, now this is just total speculation, I don't know anything. It seemed like that statement was very emotionally driven at the time. But I get his point about the music industry. It's a brutal industry. It really is. Now, do I think every label and every publisher and everybody are evil and suck? No, I don't. But I get where he's coming from. It's a business. It's a cutthroat business. And there are people that they don't give a shit about anybody else. Nice, Marco. I mean, that's what I've got. I've got an LTD, I think it's an EC400 on the wall. Yeah, I would love to do a lot more non-metal, to be 100% honest with you, in reactions. That's why I've started trying to sneak some stuff in here and there. Alright. I'm starting to fall behind in this chat, and slow mode is on. I'm just going to jump down to the bottom of the chat. If I missed a question, feel free to ask it again. Hawk's question, thoughts on the Bowman tenure? Get rid of him. He served his purpose for a while, but that's the thing with sports and even the management in sports, man. Nobody is guaranteed to be awesome all the time. He had some good years, but it's time to go. Which is the last band you discovered on your own before YouTube? Ooh, interesting question. I don't know. Let me think about that. Who was the last band I discovered before I started my YouTube? Where's my phone? I might be able to like look at my phone and look at my iTunes history and like tell you. Honestly, probably 12 Foot Ninja, but I'm not sure. Yes, there is a lot of work in Nashville. Chad says, new to the Europe scene, I love Sabaton and Epica. Any recommendations on other bands? Huh. Buddy, you got a lot of bands to listen to. Yeah, anything from Finland. If you're new to the European scene, my favorite bands from the European scene. Now, I might miss some, but like some of my favorites. If we're talking Finland, gotta go Nightwish, Children of Bodom, Insomnium, Winter Sun, I'm trying to move to another country. I'm just naming off a few. Sweden for me, In Flames, Soilwork, The Haunted, Orbit Culture. Just discovered Evergrey, and they're awesome. Dude, you got a lot of European metal to listen to. That is for sure. Ooh, Shelby, that's a great question. Shelby asked, what's a band you like that you discovered in person? Like, went to a concert and didn't know about them? Like, they're an opening band? Damn it. I'm trying to think, because I know there's a band who, like, I saw and I bought their CD. Like, I immediately went to the merch table and bought their CD. Who was that? I'm blanking out. Huh. Encephalum, for sure. Avatar. See, my brain doesn't work that fast, so I'm glad that a lot of people bring it up. Dark Tranquillity, Opeth. Dark Tranquillity and Soilwork for me were like bands I discovered in high school that really got me into it. Blind Guardian from Germany. Irish folk metal band? Okay. Robert, can you leave that in an actual comment or like tweet it or something? Well, I can probably go back. I don't have anything to write down with right now. J-Rock and J-Metal. Purchase your first bass for recording. Any suggestions for low mid to mid-tier bass? Do some brutal hard rock and blues. So I am actually a big fan of ESP's basses that they've been putting out lately, and if you went with a LTD model, you'd probably get a good bang for your buck. However, I would highly recommend, I'm a big fan of these basses, Music Man, made by Ernie Ball, Music Man Stingrays. They make a line called the Sterling, which is like their lower price point, but it's the same electronics. Like everything about the guitar on their lower end models is the same. They just use different woods and finishes, so it's cheaper. So if you look for an Ernie Ball Stingray, but made by Sterling instead of Music Man, or it's a Music Man Sterling. Just look for a Sterling Stingray is what I'm trying to say. Those things are awesome and you're not going to spend a lot of money at all. Sorry, I'm still trying to finish my bagel. Have I heard of Heaven Shall Burn? Absolutely. Been listening to them since I was in like middle school. Not a lot though. But I have known about them since like 2001 or 2. Yeah, I've seen Apocalyptica a couple times. I could give Love Bites another chance. I know it's been a while. I got into a lot of other music that I liked a lot more. Mr. E, I listened to a little bit of prog. I wouldn't really say I'm a huge prog head, but I like some of it for sure. For me, I sometimes get lost with prog. After a while, it's like kind of like too much. I call it wankery. I know a lot of people think that's a bad term, but I'm not saying it is a bad term. It just means like there's a lot of shredding and a lot of just free playing and stuff going on that I just don't follow a lot sometimes. But then there's other stuff that I love, like what is my favorite breakfast? I mean, dude, give me eggs, bacon, and a bagel, and I'm good. Now, this is an Asiago cheese bagel from Panera with nothing on it. What's the worst guitar I've had to maintain on the road? One of the guitar players for Dustin that I teched for recently had a PRS that had a a Bigsby bridge on it, and those things are a pain in the ass to restring. The bass player for Lifehouse had a Rickenbacker that was kind of difficult to work on when I teched for him. Oh, Skylar, Dream Band is way too hard of a question. That would take me a while to think about. That's kind of what I mean. Yeah, Asiago bagels from Panera are the best. Yeah, as I say, Pantera bread. Yeah, Des, sounds weird, right? BRS with a Bigsby. Vampy Witch, thank you so much. I'll do reactions to anything. Yeah. If you guys aren't familiar, Vampy Witch has a reaction page as well. She was asking if I would consider Bulgarian or Slavic reaction someday. Absolutely, I would. Oh, what's worse to restring, a Bigsby or a Floyd Rose? Floyd Rose, for sure. I'll take a Bigsby over a Floyd Rose any day. Like, if I had to pick, for sure. Thomas, I've never heard of long distance calling. I'll check it out, though. Yes, so I see. Do you watch NHL? And if you do, which team is your favorite? Hockey is like, I'm not gonna lie, hockey is one of the only sports I even care about. I'm a huge NHL fan. I grew up in Chicago. I'm just a huge hockey fan. I'll watch hockey anytime, anywhere. I grew up in Chicago. I am a Chicago Blackhawks fan. If you couldn't tell by some of the Chicago stuff on my wall. Got 1994 Jeremy Roenick up there. Signed photo, no big deal. Anisimov up there, even though he got traded. I've got an Eddie Belfour picture around here. I've got a bunch of Blackhawks pucks. I've got a lot of Blackhawks stuff. I love hockey. Who do I think is going to win the Stanley Cup? I don't know. I think Tampa has a good chance again, honestly. But I don't know. It's really early. Super chill, Trinks. I'm doing good. Pennywise, thank you, man. Go, Pack, go. Yeah, it's a big day. My Bears are out. I could support the Packers for you and some of my other friends that are Packer fans. Erling says, just want to say thanks. All your films helped me through my recovery from COVID. Dude, thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate it. I'm just glad that people get enjoyment out of the videos and the streaming that I do for any reason. But dude, I'm glad you recovered, man. I've had some family members that got COVID recently. My mom, my stepdad, my sister, and her boyfriend all got it. And they said it was not fun. My stepdad had actually told me, and he's had a lot of like medical history. He's had like surgeries and tons of other stuff. And he said COVID is probably, he got it really seriously. He got really bad symptoms. He said it was one of the worst things he's ever gotten. He's like, I wouldn't want to deal with it again. Montreal does have the most cups. 24. It's actually very impressive. I have a picture backstage in Montreal when we did a show at the Bell Center. And they have like a display of the mini Stanley Cup replicas. I took a picture outside of that. Auntie, yeah, I would love to check out some other bands from, you know, like if they're small in their country. And Was I sad when Hjalmarsson left? Absolutely. Sorry, I almost dropped a huge F-bomb there. Absolutely. I was very sad. I loved Hammer. I loved having Nicholas Hjalmarsson on the Blackhawks. Oh, Robert, thank you, man. I'll check it out. Ichabod, my morning has been great so far. I just finished my first cup of coffee. I do need to go get more, but I'll wait till this is over. What would you say is your favorite, most prized piece of memorabilia from either sports or music? Oh, interesting. I'm looking around my room now, like, what's it gonna be? I don't know. I will tell you one cool thing that I have really quick. A couple summers ago when I was touring, hold on, I want to answer one more question before I get to that. Lamb Chop asks, would you roadie for only rock and metal bands, or would you work for all types? Did you work for a company, or did you just put yourself out there? So first, answer to your first question. A lot of people think I only work for rock and metal bands. I haven't really worked for any metal bands. I've done a lot of classic rock, pop, and country. Not done a lot of rock and metal, believe it or not. And did I work for a company, or did I just put myself out there? A little of both, depending on what I was doing. So Skylar asked what my favorite, most prized piece of memorabilia is from either sports or music. I don't know if this is my favorite, but I do have an interesting story. A couple summers ago, we were touring. I was working for a country artist, Dustin Lynch. We did a festival that Joe Diffie was on. If you're not familiar with Joe Diffie, very, very popular country artist from the 90s. Wrote Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox, John Deere Green, Pickup Man, stuff like that. I don't anymore, but I used to have like, I used to, during the day, would use chewing tobacco, like American chewing tobacco. And I ran out during a festival, and I was complaining about it very vocally. And Joe Diffie heard me and gave me, you can see it right over my shoulder right there, that little tin right by my light. Joe Diffie gave me the rest of his tin of Skull because he heard me complaining about how bad I wanted more. And he just gave it to me and was like, don't worry about it. And I thought that was super cool. Let me catch up with the chat, sorry. When will we hear the song that I played on bass guitar? Tomorrow. Not doing a reaction tomorrow, just a bass cover. What is Mono Ink? Yeah, the Wild look like they'll be good. A buddy of mine played college, and he's with the Stars now, but he played college up in Minnesota. Won a national championship, too. Yes, I am a Blackhawks fan. Oh, wow, Erling. Well, I'm glad you're doing good. Auntie, yes, I answered that already. Yes, I can listen to some bands that are big in their country, but not much elsewhere. The thing is, people gotta tell me what those bands are. Which band is the baby reacting to? She reacts to a lot of different stuff. We've put the speaker on her and we've turned on Nightwish and she's kicked around and moved a lot. We've turned on like Cypress Hill and she's kicked around and moved a lot. And then when music and like movies that we're watching plays, she'll move around. It's pretty crazy. If I listen to any of these UK bands, I've heard of the Raven Age. I have not heard of any of the other ones except for Tesseract. I love Tesseract. Yeah, Detroit is known as Hockey Town for some reason. Any Swedes that made a good impression on the Blackhawks? I mean, like we were talking about Hjalmarsson earlier. He was probably my favorite Swede that the Hawks had. Am I that far behind the chat? Holy shit. Raquel, sorry to hear that. Yeah, the Hobbiton sign is back. Everybody thought I took it down, but I didn't. I just moved it a little lower. I've heard of the 69 Eyes. Can't say I've ever listened to him. And yes, there is a Hawks game today. They play at 6 p.m. my time, which is 8 hours from now, against the Florida Panthers. All good, Vampy. See you later. What song did I play on my bass guitar? Okay, since there's so many people asking, the bass guitar playthrough is coming up tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what song it was, but it is a Nightwish song. Yeah, the reason I don't do the floor covers is because there's so many good vocal coaches and reactors that do those and break that down that I'll watch them on my own time, but it's pointless for me to do because I don't break down vocals. I can tell you she sounds good. I just don't know how she sounds good. Why have I never been to Wacken? One, I live in the US, but it's because my touring schedule was so hectic the past 12 years that, like, I would have never had the time to go even if I want to. Because that time of the year for us touring in North America is like busy festival season as well. This may have been asked already, but what are your thoughts on Marco leaving Nightwish? I'll try and summarize. While I do think it is a bummer that Marco has left and he will be hard to find a replacement for because he was a big part of the band. He needs to take care of himself, and the fans should be okay with that. I respect anybody that realizes that their mental health and well-being is more important than fame. So I applaud him for leaving, even though it is a bummer, and I think all the fans should respect that as well, but I can't control them, and that's, you know. Gaffer tape is life. Claire was looking for painter's tape in the house the other day, and I was like, just grab a roll of gaff tape. Yeah, chewing is gross. It's a very bad habit. Oh, Edward, thank you very much, man. I'll get down to the question in a second. I'm still pretty behind in this chat. I'm trying to read through quick. Have I heard the band Majestica? I haven't listened to him yet, but I am aware of him. I know that's Tommy's band. I need to check that out. So the bass that I use, all those on the wall are guitars. There's a Fender Eclipse, a Gibson Les Paul Jr., Fender Stratocaster. And then my bass, this is the bass I actually used in my band. It's a Fender American Precision bass. My action is quite high on the strings right now. I need to take that down. Fink, thank you. Oh, I see Chase Carnison in the chat with a message that was retracted. What are you up to, Chase? Oh, Edward's super chat comment. Did you know that Floor was married to Hannes from Sabaton? No way! Alright, trying to catch up with chat again. I have not watched any of the Sabaton vlogs yet, but I plan on it. I've actually been talking to one of their crew guys, emailing back and forth. And he sent me a bunch of links to, like, and timestamps of stuff to check out in their vlogs. Did I know that Sabaton was pregnant with History and eventually gave birth to World War II? Good history fact, Chase. Good job. A+. Yeah, I need to go back and watch a lot of those Sabaton vlogs because it seems really cool. Do you even have a use for duct tape? No. Nope. I don't think I've used duct tape in 15 years. Once I discovered gaff tape, maybe it was when I was in a local band and we didn't have a lot of money and couldn't afford gaff tape. I would just buy cheap duct tape and use that instead. But yeah, there's nothing better. Band that I was disappointed with live, but like the studio version. Ooh, easy. All American Rejects. Now, I've only seen them once, and I heard it was an off night, but they were not good when I saw them. And this was like 2012 or 13. But I love their studio albums. You know, I never really got into Cradle of Filth. They were really popular when I was in high school. A lot of kids in my school liked them, but I never got into them. Not that I hated it or anything, I just never really got into them. Would I be open to reacting to black metal? Absolutely. Although I do prefer my black metal not sounding like it was recorded in a dumpster, and I know a lot of it does. Oh, Typo Negative? I wouldn't do a reaction video because I love Typo Negative, dude. Dude, maybe I could do a Typo Negative bass playthrough. I don't listen to a ton of black metal. I have a playlist of stuff that I like kind of cycle through. But there's not a lot of black metal bands that I listen to regularly, but I like what I do listen to. That would be cool to do an interview with Sabaton. Right now, I'm trying to get an interview lined up with one of their crew members. We're trying to figure out what times are going to work, because he's in Sweden, which I think is like a 7-hour difference from here. What's a band that you worked for that treated their crew notably respectfully well? Out of all of the bands I've worked for, and now don't get me wrong, because I'm picking this band, it doesn't mean any other bands treated us bad or anything like that, but Walk Off the Earth, I gotta say, probably, at least from my experience, like, was the most inclusive of their crew of any band I've ever worked. They included their crew on everything. I would say Walk Off the Earth is the #1 band I worked for in terms of that. Faith No More treated their crew fantastic as well. And then the current artist I work for, Dustin Lynch, I mean, he's always treated us good too. Oh, I'm missing stuff again. I have chat on slow mode, and I still can't keep up with this. Have I ever teched a show with a live orchestra? I have not. You ever think about doing a section like Sabaton Saturday for lesser-known independent bands? Yes. I want to work that in regularly at some point. But for now, it's just like every so often I just throw them in. I have not listened to the new Bandmate album yet. Favorite venue in Colorado? You know, you'd think I would say Red Rocks, but that's one of the only venues in America I have not done a show at. Favorite venue in Colorado? I like the Pepsi Center. That's a great arena to do a show in. Thoughts on Typo Negative? I love them. I love Typo Negative. Yes, I did have headaches after headbanging to Amon Amarth, but I'm good now. Thank you, Jamie. Oh, all the way from Scotland. Yeah, I trust Saga with black metal for sure. I'll tell you right now, there is no chance in hell I could do a bass playthrough of Beyond Creation. I am not that good. So where I excel with my bass playing is I am a very solid pocket player. And what that means is I can just keep the rhythm and groove very well. Like, I'm the kind of person that I'm not ultra creative. Like, I don't run scales and stuff like that, but I can listen to a song and usually be able to sit down and figure it out and play it. But beyond creation is way past my ability. I will honestly say that right now. Ever heard of Liquid Tension Experiment? Absolutely. Paradigm Shift is like one of my favorite prog songs. Like, I listen to that thing still to this day a lot. I'll definitely listen to the new Eskimo Callboy when it comes out. I know a little bit of the history of Norwegian black metal. I know it's pretty dark. I'm not like a black metal history buff, but I do know a lot of the stories. I have listened to Beelzebubs. I like that a lot. It's because Walk Off the Earth is Canadian, yeah. So Jeff, yeah, I saw, my wife and I, Claire, we went and saw Walk Off the Earth in Nashville. So I worked for Walk Off the Earth for about 2.5 years. I toured with them off of their Revo album. And then when the album after that came out, I worked for them. But Claire and I had a day off. Oh, Dark, or Darcy. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you for that super chat. I'll get to that question in a second. I'm still trying to catch up in the chat. We saw Walk Off the Earth in Nashville like a week before Mike passed away. And it's one of those moments, man, where you never know you're never going to see. You don't know you're not going to see somebody again. Like, gave the dude a hug before he went on stage, and we left like right after their last song. And then I heard like a week later, you know, he had passed. It was sad. I did listen to Epica's cover of Replica by Fear Factory. I liked the way they did it and made it their own, but I don't know if I would listen to it a bunch more, to be honest. Yeah, we should do throwback days for sure from now on, and I'll start watching Pantera and Typo Negative and all this other stuff. It'd be fun. Throwback day. Favorite roadie story or funniest roadie story? Oh, I'd have to think about that for a minute. There's a lot of them. I could sit here for 5 hours and just tell stories about touring. Have I ever done a show in Hawaii? Yes, I have. Last December, actually. Not last month, but the year before that. 2019, I did a show in Hawaii, in Maui. That was my 50th state. I finally checked it off. A Static X bass playthrough, it would be like 3 notes. And I don't mean to like shit on them. I love Static X, but their music is very simple. I never did a show at the old Starwood in Nashville, no. I have not been to the arena in Amsterdam. Every time I've done shows in Amsterdam, I've either done festivals outside of the city or we've done, I can't remember the name of the venue. It's a club venue. Heilung is doing a show at Red Rocks in October. Pff, I'd go to that. Oh, the Ogden Amphitheater. You haven't been to the Black Sheep in Colorado Springs? Don't go. You kept a list of states you visited while touring? Yeah, I hit all the continental states pretty fast. Like early on in my touring career, and then I hit Alaska and Hawaii in 2019. We did a show at the Alaska State Fair, and then we did a show in Maui. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I'll do black metal. Melkweg, yeah, that's the venue I did in Amsterdam. Ooh, I think I'm finally caught up with the chat, maybe? Yeah, I am. Cool. Nah, it was the Melkweg in Amsterdam. That's what I'm thinking of, I believe. So there's nothing really wrong with the Black Sheep in Colorado Springs. It's a really small old venue. I think it's like 250 or 300 capacity tops. It's just hard to work a show in there. It's more of a, I don't know. I think the last show I did in there was with Sick Puppies. And, like, they're not a huge band anymore, but they were way too big for that venue. Squeeze Star, yeah, dude. I've definitely been at shows that were like way oversold and stuff like that. Sunshine Studios in Colorado Springs, not familiar. Oh, lamb chops. That would be, I'd have so much content. I've told my Oktoberfest story a couple times on here. That one's pretty insane. What's my favorite in Colorado Springs? Is it the World Arena? I think in Colorado Springs. I've done a bunch of shows there. I like that place. Why don't I change my channel name to Nightwish Reactions? Because it's not just Nightwish Reactions. Sick burn. I haven't listened to Delane, but I have listened to Epica and Arion and stuff like that. It all depends, Mariposa. I personally, if I had to choose, I'd say bigger venues because there's more room to work. Yeah, all my friends that have worked at Red Rocks said it's a beautiful and amazing venue, but they hate doing shows because you have to cross-load everything and you can't get semi-trucks up there. Yeah, I worked for Sick Puppies when Shim was still the singer for the band, right before he got kicked out. Green Theory and Lucid Gray. Okay. I'm somewhat familiar with Symphony X. Ray, yeah, I've done quite a few shows at Madison Square Garden. Have I ever crowd surfed? Absolutely. So when I say stadium, I'm talking about like an American football stadium, like 50 to 70,000 people. Arena is like an ice hockey stadium, like 15,000 people. So I would take an arena, like an ice hockey arena, all the time because there's so much room to work and I love it. Do I know other bands from the Netherlands? The only bands that I know from the Netherlands, honestly, I've heard of Delane, Epica, Arion. I might be missing some. I actually have not listened to Ghost, and the reason I haven't is because I had a friend that was so obsessed with them and talked them up like they were the greatest band ever, and he would never shut up about them, that it kind of ruined it, or to the point where, like, I know that's happened to other people. It's like you hear so much that you're like, I don't even want to listen to them. I should probably listen to Ghost at some time. Oh, Within Temptation too. I feel like I missed a question that somebody left a super chat on. Yeah, okay. One of my favorite bands released a new song. It'd be cool if you reacted to it. They're underrated. Hold On by Secrets. Secrets. Okay. Where's my pen? I can never find a pen. There it is. I'm just going to write it down just to remember. I have another indie band that I need to check out soon that hit me up too. What's up, Michael Kennedy? Sorry I haven't been on Destiny in a while. Yeah, I've had quite a few bands that I feel like were ruined for me by friends that just talked them up so much. Any particular state that when you hear you're touring through just makes you groan? I wouldn't say particular states, but there are venues in certain states, probably. And the funny thing is, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but it's like if I look at a tour itinerary and see them, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I have a lot of Sharpies. I just don't have any pens. You can always count on a roadie to have gaff tape and a Sharpie. How do you get to crowd surf? So if you're on stage and you want to crowd surf, you just jump in the crowd. If you're in a crowd, you just like grab a couple people around you and just be like, put me up. I've done that at so many metal shows. I've just grabbed the guys who are like, yo, I want to get up, put me up. And you'll just have a few of the guys in the crowd lift you up and just go for it. And then hope everybody... Have I ever listened to Korpiklani? Yes. Lord of the Lost, I have not. Oh, I used to love Ministry. Chicago band. Shout out Chicago. And I'm kind of familiar with Nailbomb. That's how Volbeat got ruined for me too. I had a crew member that I used to tour with that was obsessed with Volbeat and just would not stop talking about how amazing they were, to the point where I just never wanted to listen to them. Yeah, I could get back to Mike Mills stuff, Mariposa, for sure. Oh, I always have a knife on me too. I always have a knife on me, no matter what, because you never know when you need it. Gaff tape, Sharpie, Leatherman multi-tool. Saga is correct. Fun story. I crowd surfed at a show once when I was playing a show in Chicago. I jumped into the crowd. I did a flip into the crowd. And of all the people in the crowd that I could have hit, I accidentally kicked my own sister in the face. Oh, Beck, that sucks. Hello from Quebec. Bonjour. I'm so bad with French, I'm sorry. Skylar, thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. I love these Sunday talks too. These are fun. I just have to really, really get better at trying to get through the whole chat. I've heard of Blind Channel because somebody keeps recommending it all the time, borderline spamming it. Max, yes, I need to hit up Kriegel, because Kriegel said that he would be interested in doing an episode of Interview with Rody. Kriegel from Helveti, if nobody's following. Yeah, my sister's cool, though. Nah. Me and my sister are cool. We have a good relationship. She didn't care. See you, Jeff. Thanks for being here, man. I have not listened to Brothers of Metal yet, but that's a band I keep seeing brought up. I could do a full album review of Unseen World. I haven't done like a full album listen through yet. All right. I see a ghost song going on there. I see a ghost song, Lamb Chops. It's so there's a fine line between requests and spamming. Requests are like maybe every now and then if I haven't got to it, you're hey, just a reminder, check out this band, because there's a lot of bands to get to, guys. It really is hard trying to figure out what I'm gonna do on here. When I say spamming, I mean getting in my Twitch or getting on here or going through every single one of my videos and just leaving a comment in all caps that's telling me to listen to a band. Like, when will we see more Winter Sun? I don't know. That's just an honest answer. I don't know. You will. I like that band a lot. I just don't know when. There are some times where I literally decide what I'm going to do a reaction to, like when I sit down and open up my computer. Slight tangent. Any once favorite tunes that got overplayed to the point you've never listened to it anymore? Yeah, for sure, man. It's one of those hard questions where, like, I can't think of a lot of stuff off the top of my head, but if it came on a radio or something, I'd be like, get out of here. Like, the local rock station in Nashville, they constantly, they bill themselves as, like, the new rocks. We play the best new rock in Nashville, and all they play is Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, that's it. I like those bands. It's just like, dude, play me something else. Last new music you listened to without doing a reaction to it? Ooh. I don't know. It's been a while. I have not heard Defamed yet. Yeah, Gamma, on Discord, I think somebody said this, but we on our Discord server, we have a video suggestions channel where all the suggestions that on there get added to an Excel spreadsheet that Chase and I can look at and find out what's been requested, how many times it's been requested, stuff like that. The thing is, there's like 900 songs on there, guys. So like, I know a lot of people get frustrated that we don't get to your song that was requested, but you just got to understand, We have a pool of 900 songs that have been requested that we have to like look at. We could stop taking requests right now and have like 3 years of content for YouTube. See you, Max. Thanks for being here. So let's slow down in the chat a little because I'm at about an hour here, and I usually do these Sunday morning coffees for an hour. But if you still want to hang out and chit chat, in a little bit, I'm going to jump over on Twitch and stream some video games and hang out. And I usually play with Chase and Frosty and Colty and some other people from our Discord. And I don't know what we're going to play today. I did just download Warzone on my computer now that I had the space for it. And I may check out Warzone for the first time. But we did Fall Guys yesterday and just raged, and it was fun. I have definitely been to a Meshuggah concert. Yeah, 500 different bands and 900 songs. So I kind of ignore this, I'm not gonna lie. So I see somebody just asked, Martin just asked, do I know about the warning? Yes, I know about the warning, and everybody keeps telling me to react to them, and I know they're a very popular reaction. The thing is, I've listened to the warning. They, I think, have become one of those bands that were overhyped, because everybody's like, this band is so amazingly good and ridiculous and blah, 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 and I listened to it, and I didn't get the hype, if I'm being honest. I don't think they're terrible, I just didn't get the hype. I was like, okay. So that's why you haven't seen a warning reaction, because I listened to one of their songs and I was just like, okay. Hey, you don't have to be into video games. That's what you feel about Unleash the Archers. That's fine. That's totally cool. I get it. There are bands that aren't for everybody. And that's what I wish more people would understand. Like, when I say I didn't like a band's song, it doesn't mean I hate them. It doesn't mean you're wrong for liking them. It doesn't mean I'm wrong for not liking them. It's just everybody has different tastes, man. That's totally cool. How much would it suck if we all just liked the same things? I also think Orbit Culture should be more hyped, to be honest. I'm actually going to check out their new video. It doesn't have gear? Unleash the Archers has a bassist. He's just not an official member of the band. Yeah, Orbit Culture has a new video, but from what I've heard, it's like a cinematic. There's no gear. Yes, I am aware Nightwish does not have a bassist right now. Hell yeah, Public Enemy. That was one of my favorite hip-hop groups. Yeah, Baby Metal's good. I also think it's a little overhyped. Don't kill me for that one. I love Soilwork. Soilwork was one of the first European... I credit In Flames, Soilwork, Children of Bodom, and Dimmu Borgir as my like gateways into European metal when I was in like early high school. So, we're over an hour here. I'm going to get ready to jump off here, and then I'm going to get ready to stream on Twitch for a little bit today so we can play some games and hang out. And if you don't like games, that's totally cool. I still keep up with the chat, and I talk to people, and it's a fun place to hang around. Thank you guys very much for being here. I really enjoy doing this because I like talking to you guys and catching up and stuff like that, answering any questions. But I'm going to wrap it up here. If you still have any unanswered questions, feel free to jump over on Twitch. I'll drop the link to my Twitch in the chat right now if anybody wants to join. And like I said, Chase Carnison gets on there with me and plays games, and Frosty and Colty and some of our other friends from Discord. I don't know what we're going to do today, but we're going to do some stuff. So, guys, thank you for being here. Tomorrow, for those of you that are here now, I'll just tell you, tomorrow I'm releasing a bass playthrough. It's going to go up on Patreon here in a second. Well, actually, when I'm done with this, I'll put it on Patreon. I'm doing a bass playthrough to a Nightwish song for tomorrow. And it is my first bass playthrough on YouTube, so I'm sorry if it's not great. My playthroughs will get better with time as I learn how to mix sound properly and stuff like that. And then I eventually plan on putting tabs and stuff in there too, so... thank you guys once again. If you do want to join Patreon, the link is here. Basically, you just get to see all my YouTube videos early, and then I have some other things here and there, like whenever I have enough bloopers from recording, I put together blooper videos and stuff like that. I know there hasn't been one in a while because I'm actually getting good at recording and I'm not making as many mistakes, believe it or not. I am not the new bassist for Nightwish. I just did a bass playthrough. But that would be cool. I wouldn't say no. So, guys, thank you very much for being here. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be on Twitch probably within the next 15 minutes just hanging out and stuff like that. So, have a great day. Be safe. Take care of each other. I will see you all very, very soon.